You can find countless DIY home project ideas on the internet. You may be surprised by how much you and your family want or need to change or even upgrade several aspects of your house. Sometimes it's little projects like adding shelves or shutters that make a big difference in how beautiful your home looks and feels. A house can be tired and less comfortable as time goes on, making you think about overhauling it. Unfortunately, doing a total makeover project is not as easy as it seems, especially if you are tight on a budget. So, what should you do? If you are longing for the comfort and practicality that your house used to offer, you can gain them now. Even better, it does not have to cost a fortune. Take a look at these 12 DIY home project ideas that you can copy this weekend. Most of these ideas are effortless, straightforward, and, most importantly, affordable. As always, SimFoam presents you with the list. Let's start the countdown. Number 12. The IKEA Cabinet Built-in Ideas at the Daily DIYer. Who says that constructing a built-in cabinet is arduous? This one will be your inspiration. First, you need to make the frame and shelves. Then, install IKEA doors and hinges. Once you have assembled them, screw the cabinet to the wall. Here comes the trick that helps you make it look like a built-in. You will be likely to find a gap between the wall and the cabinet. Fill in the gap with Super Glue Total Tech. Then, you can also add more shelves. More importantly, paint the cabinet the same color as the trim. Detailed instructions. Once you have mounted the cabinet, use painter's tape to mask off the IKEA doors. Once it is dry, paint the doors with acrylic paint. Then, use Total Tech to fill in the wall and the cabinet gap. Don't forget to use painter's tape to mask the areas you do not want the filler to seep into. Once it is dry, sand it with fine grit sandpaper to smooth and clean. Apply primer and then 2 coats of paint on top of that. The final touch, apply a coat of clear coat. Number 11. The Living Room Level Up Idea by @Homemade by Carmona and @Emily Reina. When it comes to organizing things while saving more floor space, wall storage always wonders. You can find various wall storage that suits your needs and interior. Even better, you can make one yourself. If you are into DIY projects, storing tools and materials in the garage is your thing. Thus, you should consider making these wall lumber racks. You just need to cut wood to size. Then, drill pilot holes. Next, you have to make some triangles for the sides. Once the cutting pieces are ready, you can screw the wood to the wall to create an upside-down L. Then, attach 2 triangles on both sides. Finally, paint the racks the same color as the wall to camouflage them. Number 10. The DIY Couch Console Idea by @Emily Reina. Shoving the couch against the wall is a good call when it comes to limited space. However, you may come across another problem. You will find it hard to access the internet cord installed behind the couch. The best way to overcome this problem is by making a console table. Do not worry. It is not complicated at all. You just need to cut wood to length, and assemble the pieces using wood glue and L brackets. You can also install some triangles acting as additional supports. Do not forget to create 2 or 3 holes on top for the openings for the power outlets. This way, they can be more accessible. Finally, apply any finish you want and place the console table behind the couch. Number 9. Beautify your walls with DIY Slat Walls by @Alexander Renee Design and from @House to Home. First idea. Do you want to add more interest to your room without spending a lot of money? You can try this DIY slat wall. This project is perfect for creating an accent wall for any room in your house. It will add visual appeal in no time. More importantly, it is easy to make. You just need to get some wooden boards and cut them to length. Make sure they are at the exact dimensions. After that, stain each piece and then attach them to the wall. You can also use hooks on the boards for better storage to improve it. If you have some extra time, you can make a more professional-looking one using wood planks of different sizes in different finishes. The process is almost the same. However, you need to use wood glue and decorative brackets. If you also have unfinished wood planks in your garage or basement, then this project is for you. You can build an artistic storage solution that will surely add more appeal to your room without spending too much money. This way, the unused material will not go to waste because they can serve a greater purpose. Second idea. If you think the first idea is rather dull and want to find a more attractive look, this one is for you. Basically, it is pretty similar to the idea mentioned above. However, this one is a bit tricky because you have to cut the board to certain angles so that you can lay each piece diagonally. Well, the final look will be worth the effort though. The slat wall project only requires basic tools such as a power saw, tape measure, and a screwdriver. You can complete this DIY project within 4 hours if you are consistent. Number 8. The Bedroom Transformation Project by @JessAMom03. A can of paint can do its magic. Nobody doubts that changing color can significantly impact any room, including a bedroom. Instead of applying the paint to the entire walls, why don't you take this idea to the next level? With some help from painter's tape, you can do beyond magic. The result: the combination of several fresh coats of paint and painter's tape has changed this tired bedroom into a mesmerizing one. The makeover entails a simple process. You just need to run the painter's tape to form the pattern you want. Then, you can begin to apply the paint to the entire walls. Once you are finished, remove the tape. Number 7. The DIY Bathroom Transformation on a Budget at Megan Mac 26. This project is another proof that paints do wonders. They can even turn this tired bathroom into an Instagrammable spot. The tiles are indeed ugly and outdated. You might think you need to replace them altogether. Well, it is not necessary. You just need to paint them white, and you are good to go. To produce a contemporary look, you had better paint the wall gray. Gray is one of the neutral colors that offers elegance without overpowering the space. The large square mirror will leave an ugly spot if you remove it from the wall. Do not worry, you just need to cover the blank space with palette wood. This way, you can conceal the flaw and add a bit of rustic touch to the bathroom. Then, you can hang a new mirror on the planks. Now, it is time to make over the flooring. You do not need to install hardwood or tiles. So, why do you have to break a sweat if you can do it effortlessly? You just need to purchase peel and stick planks that look like a wood floor. Number 6. The DIY reeded plant pot made from an old candle at Dove Cottage blog. Doing a DIY project allows you to improve your home and helps you stay sane. In fact, it is good for your mental health, especially if you make something pretty with minimal efforts, like this flower pot. This flower pot looks gorgeous and lavish. You might think that you have to splurge out on it. Well, that is not necessarily true. You just need to glue down wooden dowels to the entire surface of an old candle jar. Then, apply any finish you like. That's it. Number 5. The Simple Wooden Crate Transformation Ideas from @WoodMood. Making drawers have never been this simple. Who would have guessed you could build some practical drawers in a minute? To make these simple drawers, you will need 2 wooden crates. Then, install 3 square dowels to each crate. These dowels will act as drawer slides. After that, add a top to assemble the crates. Then, secure the frame by screwing it to the wall and placing the plastic baskets in it. Number 4. How to paint kitchen cupboards on a budget. If you have kitchen cabinets from the 90s, you surely know the dilemma of revamping them. They usually have a vinyl layer that wraps around the entire surface of the cabinets. You might think that applying paint over the vinyl is a shortcut. Yes. However, the result will not be fantastic, especially if some wraps are peeling off. Thus, you can go with another option. Remove the vinyl layer altogether. Removing the vinyl altogether can be tricky. Therefore, you will need a heat gun to do that. You just have to hold it above the wraps. The heat will lift them off. Then, you can peel them easily. Once the wraps are gone, you can remove the hardware and paint. To get a more modern look, you can replace the handles with knobs, which will leave some holes in the cabinet doors. It is not a big deal, though. You can fill them with wood filler. Number 3. Repurpose and recycle an old bike wheel. Do you have an old wheel in your garage and do not know what to do with it? Do not let it leave untapped. It can make a pretty wall decoration. To turn a rusty old wheel into a wall decoration, you need to apply 1 coat of all-surface primer. Then, apply 2 coats of bright copper spray paint. Finally, add faux flowers and hang the wheel on the wall. Number 2. Make beautiful Moroccan planters in under 10 minutes. These planters will spruce up your living room in no time. Do you know another awesome thing about them? You will not have to spend hours constructing them. A couple minutes will be enough. You just need to get 4 square tiles. Then, glue them down together to create a cube. After that, cut a plastic bottle and gently squeeze the bottom part into the cube. Do not worry, the plastic bottle will fit snugly. Before I finish this countdown, support the channel by pressing subscribe button under the video. Please keep us in your subscription tabs for more home and garden improvement ideas like this. And finally, let's close our countdown with... Lastly, number 1. The DIY boho wall cabinet idea. A cabinet is meant to be storage that keeps clutter at bay. Aside from being practical, it can also be pretty, just like this one. It may be just like any other cabinet. However, the distinct doors made of macrame cord offer a more aesthetic look that will round out your boho interior. Relevant instructions and alternative ideas in case you can't collect all required materials like that in the video. Number 1. Start with your measurement and some cables. Number 2. Wrap the cable around the post and then tie it up with a square knot on one side and then... Number 3. Wrap it around the post once again and then tie it up lightly to make sure that it does not come undone. Number 4. Repeat steps 1 to 3 on all sides of the cabinet. Number 5. Wrap it around the post once again and then tie it up with a square knot. And then, number 6. Continue to wrap the cable around the post and tie it up with a square knot, and so on until you reach the top of your desired area. That's it for now. Since you're still watching this video, press the like button, comment it, or share it with anyone close to you on your favorite social media channel. Browse and follow the Symphone website for more awesome content related to home and decor ideas. Until we meet again later, sometime in the future. Thanks for watching.